Metaphormic mobility. Currently, metaphormic mobility is implemented through use of the scratch pad available from the Metaphormic homepage, metaphormic.com. This scratch pad is compatible with smartphone and tablet browsers. The first time that you visit the scratch pad, a set creation dialog which allows you to select published sets will appear. You start the scratch pad from the home page using the bright pink control in the upper right hand corner. The initial set selection dialog appears, in which all published sets that are available to you are listed. For this video, we will continue from the previous video discussing conflict resolution, in which 3 sets were active: sexual assault discussion, a beginning set; a set is activated by switching its associated control on the right hand side from pink to green. Then we'll also activate conflicts 2 and 1, which makes conflict 1 the highest priority as it was the most recently activated. We close this dialog with the X in the upper right hand corner. The use of the scratch pad with mobile browsers is much the same as with a desktop browser, except that many scratch pad browsers employ an automatic floating keyboard when you select into a text input field such as the scratch pad. Here we're using an iPhone and Safari browser. Browsing to the scratch pad, we activate the sets as shown. We enter the terms I believe you, boys will be boys, and then our 3 conflict terms: term 1, term 2, and term 3, which are just placeholders. Notice the counter in the upper right hand corner of the scratch pad input window shows that there are 2 terms in which there is advice against their use, and there is 1 term which there are substitutions available. And you'll notice that terms that appear in just a single set have a single underline, such as I believe you and boys will be boys. And terms for which there are conflicts, in which the term appears in multiple active sets, have a double underline: term 1, term 2, and term 3. On the mobile browsers, there is not the same display space to support the right-hand column information areas as there are on desktop browsers. To compensate for this, the mobile metaphormic solution provides access to this information using an option button that appears when you select one of the highlighted terms. Because of the way that many mobile operating systems function, it will often be necessary to remove the on-screen keyboard. For iOS devices, use the Done control just above the numeric line on the keyboard. With the keyboard temporarily removed, you may select one of the underlined terms. We'll choose the boys will be boys term first. The selected term becomes surrounded by the highlighted color, and a small options control appears on screen. The on-screen keyboard may also reappear at this point. You should be able to choose the options control with the keyboard active or not, and then a new overlay screen will appear, which includes the information regarding use of the term, alternatives for yellow highlighted terms, and conflict information for terms appearing in multiple active sets. As you see with this overlay, the boys will be boys term does not have any conflicts. Being a red highlighted term means that the active set with that term suggests that you may not want to use that term. The overlay screen indicates, in this case, that you may not want to use the term boys will be boys to avoid appearing to sympathize with the perpetrator. With the keyboard dropped, you may select a different highlighted term, term 3 in this case. The selected term is surrounded in the appropriate color, yellow, and the option control appears. Selecting the Options control brings up the overlay again. The overlay includes information regarding the surrounded text. In this case, the double line indicates that term 3 is in multiple active sets. The overlay also includes information as to the substitutions. In this case, you could substitute sub 1 or sub 2. But if we select conflict 2, we see that the options for the substitution change as defined by conflict 2 set, which is now 1 sub and 2 sub. You may make those substitutions directly by selecting the green control. And you see that term 3 has been replaced by 2 sub. You may select the different conflicting sets, and then the annotations and options, such as substitutions, that are presented will change based upon which one you have active. Once you've edited the text in the Scratchpad and made any adjustments responsive to the metaphormic guidance, you may copy-paste the text from the Scratchpad to your application, Word, social media, or other application input field. This concludes our video for metaphormic mobility. Thank you and enjoy.